Hey everyone, welcome back to Great Sports Debates. Before we jump into this Week 6 picks, let's do a quick recap on Week 5. We did lose our first teaser bet of the season with the Bears and the Saints. The Bears were the ones that did not come through with us as we teased Washington down from 6.5 to minus half a point. And they didn't really hit. No matter how good the teasers are, you aren't going to win them all. We did win our bigger teaser, the 5-unit teaser, where we had Detroit teased down to minus 2.5, and the Jets at plus 8.5. The Jets didn't need any of those points. We hit on a couple of unders. I know the Saints and Patriots were one of those. We also hit on the big game, San Francisco minus 3.5. And then, strangely, the Ravens game cost us some money that, they just didn't hold up as well as the Texans. But overall, another good week. Let's move right into Week 6. We had a few really solid bets this week. And we'll start off with the first game. The Broncos at Kansas City. That's a big number here. Probably an avoid for me. If I did bet, I would lean Kansas City, giving up the double-digit points. Right now it's minus 10.5. I don't think you tease through good enough numbers to make it worthwhile. If it does move below 10 for some reason, though, I would definitely do a unit on Kansas City there. In the next game, we got the Ravens at Tennessee. It's always tough, you don't want to overreact, but it's really bad the way the Ravens did lose to the Steelers. But I still think they're a better team than Tennessee. This game is worth a unit here. I want to say Baltimore's only favored by 2.5. I feel like they'll win by a field goal at least. I got 24-20. This is worth a unit. I haven't looked yet, but also check the under on this. Depending on the number, that might be worthwhile as well. Okay, in the next game with the Commanders and the Falcons, I'm going to just do an avoid here. Not super confident on either team. I do like Washington to win outright by probably at least a field goal. And the major factor in that is I really have more faith in Sam Howell than I do in Ritter. Moving to the next game, we got the 49ers at the Browns. Last I checked, the 49ers were favored by 4.5. That's definitely at least a 2-unit bet for me. I got them early. Like I said before, if you look at getting some of these bets the week before or earlier, you can really lock into some value. So we were able to lock in San Francisco minus 3 in this game. Either way, this is one that you really want to bet, and like I said, at least 2 units. And if you've been following the show, if we're saying at least 2 units, they've been pretty much good as gold. For the Saints and the Texans, I like the Saints to win by more than a field goal here, so definitely look at least a unit on the Saints. They finally looked good with Kamara and Carr, kind of mixing it up together. Granted, it was New England they blew out, who's been getting smashed the last few weeks. But, with Houston coming off a bad week and the Saints already playing lights out defense, I really do like the Saints here. Next game is probably going to be an avoid for me. I might do 1 unit on Miami. The line I last saw was 13.5, which is just too big of a number for me. There's too many backdoor covers and things that could happen. When I picked the score without even looking at the line, I had 14. I think Miami will win by, at least 14. I don't expect it to be super close game, but again, when I pick at 14 and the line's 13.5, it's probably an avoid, but if I did want to bet that game, I would go Miami's way. And the next one, this is our upset special for the week. Cincinnati is favored by 2.5 as Seattle just continues to be undervalued in the Las Vegas market, and I think a lot of that is just public betting, really. But you know, I think the Seahawks should be winning this game by at least a field goal, and you're getting points, so look to bet a unit on this, taking the points, or maybe even considering the money line. In the next game, we got the Colts at the Jaguars. This might be an avoid. Again, I would lean Jags here. I want to say that they're favored by 4.5 last I saw, and again, I got them winning by about 5. And really, I kind of feel like this can go either way, especially the Jags. They haven't been consistent looking good or bad, and the same goes for the Colts. So this is really a toss-up game. I like the Jags here, but probably going to be an avoid for me. All right, the next one, this is kind of interesting. I might be overvaluing Justin Jefferson a little bit because I was definitely in on Minnesota. Bears are getting 2.5 here, and with Justin Jefferson out, I know some people talk about receivers, you know, maybe move the point a line or so, you know, with a really good one. But I think he's really different, especially in this situation where Osborne just can't catch, shouldn't be on the field. The offense struggles. He's kind of Kirk Cousins' get out of jail free card, and they've been pretty much abysmal running or playing defense. That combined with the Bears doing a lot better with Fields getting the ball out quick. I'm going to go with Chicago here. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. Maybe this is something we'll talk about in the subscriber special. So again, make sure you want to subscribe if you want to get those big unit games. But I mean, if the Bears are getting 2.5, you tease it up to 8.5. Maybe that's the spot. In the next game, we got the Raiders at the Patriots. I got to look at the under on this. I would pick the Raiders, giving away the points, but I'm not super confident in that. I'm probably looking to see what the under is. Both of these teams have been pretty low scoring. If it's anywhere in the 40s, I'd probably consider the under, if anything, to bet this game. Next, we got the Lions at Tampa Bay. Again, this goes back to the point I mentioned on the San Francisco game. We are betting, we're finding value weeks in advance. This one I wanted to get in before Sunday's game because I'm pretty confident Detroit was going to kill Carolina. And we got Detroit -3. I know that line's moved up a little bit from there. I'm not sure exactly where it's at now. But I'm all over Lions -3. That would be one that would definitely bet a unit. We might bet 2 units on that. That's a pretty solid value. You know, as the line widens, it gets a little dicier, but I'm still liking Lions, you know, unless we start getting into that touchdown range, and then it's probably an avoid. We got Arizona at the Rams. This line is 6.5. I really like the Rams on this. I didn't get in on it early enough. So I didn't bet it. I might bet 1 unit. This is one you could avoid, or if you did bet, I'd probably go with the Rams giving up 6.5. But by no means a solid lock, but something to look at if you like what the Rams are doing this year. Same category here. We have the Eagles and the Jets. This is another one I might search to see what the under is here. Eagles, I want to say, are favored by 6.5. I feel really confident that they're going to win. I just don't know by how much. I got it about 7. It's probably about right. Possibly worth a unit on the Eagles here at your discretion, but a much better candidate to be teased. And spoiler alert, this is one of the things we'll talk about on the subscriber special. Alright, finally we're moving into the games that are going to be more of the prime time for the networks. We got the late game that a lot of people are going to see. Sunday night, we got the Giants, who were tortured with getting overinflated in prime time as always, at the Bills. This is going to be an avoid by me. The line's at 14.5. That's too big. I don't want to tease it. If I did bet this, I would bet Buffalo, even giving away the 14.5. If it got under 14, I would probably, I'd still be like a maybe a unit or a half a unit. 14.5 is just a really big number. And, you know, especially with the Bills, you know, they're a team where they could easily blow them out by 20 plus, and they could also have a meltdown or throw a few interceptions or have a few bad plays, and it wind up being a close game. Finally, moving into Monday night, we got the the Cowboys and the Chargers. I like the Cowboys here. I'm pretty surprised that they're only 2.5 point favorites. I do know it's in LA, but there'll still probably be more Dallas fans than Chargers fans there. And, you know, despite the Cowboys being 3-2, I still think they're like the 7th best team at worst. You know, the San Francisco match was something that we predicted. They match up well against them. They run the ball. They play strong defense. You know, the Chargers don't really play a lot of defense. They have some playmakers on defense that you have to watch out for. But I think the Cowboys can get back on track here. This could be a high-scoring game. I got 31-27 here, so I don't know if we get quite that high, but I want to say the over's at 50.5 right now, so that's one that we looked at maybe doing a unit on right there for the over. But ultimately, I really like Dallas minus 2.5 even better. So I like both of those. I just like Dallas minus 2.5 better, and that one is definitely a unit, possibly two. So if you look at what we gave here, it's kind of rare that we have two possible multi-unit games and a for sure multi-unit game. So this is where we can get some big bets in and get some value. Also a note, Green Bay and Pittsburgh are on the bye this week. And remember, subscribe so you can see the message that I put out for some of the other multi-unit bets that we do, whether that's parlays, teasers, or whatever. But that's usually where we put up the bulk of the cash, because you can really find some good value in there. Anyhow, that's all I got. Like, subscribe, thanks for watching, and hit me in the comment section with any questions you might have.